when they got out of the truck, they heard this howl.
Oh man.
And he explained that howl perfectly. And I mean, it was just wild. And we have it on video. It's in the video. And it's just absolutely wild how these people are explaining it and how it sounded. But then to hear it ourselves was just mind blowing.
Friends, monster hunters, fans of lycanthropy, welcome to another wonderful episode of the Scary Movie Project, the podcast where we talk about scary movies and travel to Wisconsin to hunt down giant 7-foot tall monsters. I am your host, Matt. You know we love to talk about scary movies a lot, but you know we love to talk about spooky topics on this program. You guys are in so much luck for this episode because we are going to talk about the Beast of Bray Road today. Now, as always, I couldn't just ramble by myself. I am joined by two gentlemen who are going to help me talk a lot about the Beast of Bray Road. Dominic Satel, who is a spirit medium, and Eric Mintel, the host of Eric Mintel Investigates. Two gentlemen that are joining me that have matching shirts, because I hope you're watching on YouTube, which is, I did not get this memo. I only have the Beast of Bray Road t-shirt.
We need one.
Yes, we'll get you one. But gentlemen, thank you. Gentlemen, thank you for being on this episode. I could go on and on, but I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves. Tell us what you guys do, and I know you're thrilled to talk about the Beast of Bray Road.
My God. Any chance we get a chance to talk about that. Real quick, Eric Mintel Investigates. I've had this TV show since 2016, and I'm also a professional jazz musician.
Yes, you are. That's right.
Eric Mintel Quartet for the last 32 years. We've had wonderful opportunities. We played at the White House, the Kennedy Center, United Nations, all these wonderful places. But I've always loved the paranormal.
Yes.
And long story short, I started Eric. It was originally called Bucks County Paranormal Investigations because we're here in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. But I switched it to Eric Mintel Investigates because we're traveling all over the country,
right,
and people want us to investigate the strange goings on. And then enter my buddy since high school, Dominic Satel, who came into the team the year later in 2017.
Yep, and I've been with Eric ever since. I mean, we've known each other, like you said, since high school. Hung out after high school. Everybody gets married, life gets in the way. We kind of separated. We came back together, and he never knew that I had the gift to talk with spirit and be a little bit of psychic in there and be able to sense things that are going on, talk to spirit. And when he said to me, "Hey, we're doing this stuff," I kind of showed up at the one. He threw me in a video, and it just went from there and exploded. So we had this opportunity, thanks to Ellen Collins, our West Eric Mintel Investigates office, and she had paid for us to go out there to investigate the Beast of Bray Road. And out of my wheelhouse, because I deal with spirit and not beasts, not cryptids. And Eric drugged me out there because I think he was afraid to go by himself, But Eric's whole theory the whole time was riding on the plane. He's like, "Oh, this is going to be a great documentary. We're not really going to see anything. We're not going to capture anything. We just want to get this on film." And lo and behold, we get out there,
got it all
out into this field, and it just went nuts.
Was I wrong?
That was a good time to be wrong, I guess. Right?
Oh, yeah.
On the plane out to Wisconsin, we had the shirts on and everything, and we had jackets that have, patches. We've got the Bigfoot UFO.
Got it all, man.
And people were looking at us like, "What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing?" So, the paranormal genre is so huge, and it's a hot topic right now with everything across the board: UFOs, ghosts, Bigfoot, dogman, you name it. So we're out there and we're getting stopped. When we got to Wisconsin, we went out to a restaurant. We're getting stopped by people left and right that are telling us,
"Wow,
yep,
the Beast of Bray Road." And they actually agreed to videotape on camera, which I used their testimony in that video.
Right.
And
so it was crazy.
You can't write this stuff. And like Dom said, I went out there like, you know what? We're going to get a great documentary. I had no thought that we were going to see anything other than it was a great story. I knew about the Beast of Bray Road, but not much, One of the first stops we made, right, Dom, was right in front of the carving of the Beast of Bray Road. Right on. which is right.
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, so Dom goes, well, I don't want to, and I said, well, let me go up to the front door, and say, there's like video surveillance on the sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
No solicitors, all this stuff up on
I'm knocking on the door. I'm waiting here.
Yeah, that's exactly why I don't knock on people's doors.
But the guy came to the door. He was super nice.
Well, what do you expect? I mean, you have a carving. What the heck do you think is going to happen? Give me a break.
Yeah.
And I asked him. I said, "Hey, listen."
Right?
And he asked, and if you're nice, everything will work out. I said, "Hey, listen, we're doing a video. Is it okay if we videotape? And this carving is phenomenal. Is it okay?"
Yeah.
He said, yeah, no problem. Go have at it. And so he was really cool about it. And I mean, lots of shows, right? That were parked.
Oh yeah,
parking in his parking area.
It's part of anyone who goes by there to do this. He's part. Right. Yeah, that house is part of it.
I mean, the crazy thing was we're on Bray Road, and people are stopping, saying the police are going to come. They're going to ticket you. You can't park here. We had a sheriff pull up next to us, stop, and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" We're like, "Oh, we're filming. We're doing this. We're, about the Beast of Bray Road." He's like, "All right." He says, "Just watch the traffic. It's a little crazy." And he left.
Yeah.
We're like, we never got touched. And everybody's like, "Wait, you talked to them and they didn't give you a ticket?"
Yeah,
no.
It was really it was wild. I mean, and
that's a refreshing thing to hear, because
a
lot of these places and these things, that's not the way it is.
And I think it's the way we're presenting it as well. I mean,
sure.
The way we are as people, as human beings, we're not coming at people with an attitude or anything like that. And when you do that, you're not off-putting people at that point. You're welcoming them in, and you're a non-threat. You know what I'm saying?
Very much.
So that's why they were like, oh, so I always like to say Dominic and I use the Force.
Very good.
Our Jedi powers.
Very good. Mind tricks.
Let us film on Bray Road.
Yep.
I would love to have had that. So, all right. So let's talk about the Beast, right? Let's get into it. So, for those that do not know, the Beast of Bray Road is a reputed werewolf, a dog man, right? A 6 to 7 foot, maybe even taller creature that lurks on Bray Road in Elkhorn, Wisconsin. Okay, Bray Road's a small, 4 miles road?
Yeah.
I think that it connects from a highway NN or whatever it is, back to some other, I forget the terminus road there. But since, I guess, the 80s, or even, before, people have been telling stories they see some beast on this road. This is in Elkhorn is in Walworth County, right? The county seat in southern Wisconsin. So I've known about, and any good paranormal or cryptid fan has heard of the Beast of Bray Road, right? I've heard about it for, at least a decade, and I've always wanted to go, and I've never had a reason to go. My friend Emily is getting her PhD at University of Wisconsin in Madison, and I'm an Oregon football fan. So they were going out to play there, so I went out to visit. That was the main reason I went to the game. But then I said, okay, hold on, wait, I'm going to Wisconsin. Okay, I don't know the geography. I got to look at the map and make sure. I realized how close it was, and I said, oh my goodness, I'm going to Chicago first, then I'm going to go anyway. But the Beast of Bray Road, let's talk about that. So it is a story of a beast-like, werewolf-like creature that haunts this road, and people have been talking about it for many decades. Big time in the 80s, huge. I haven't heard of anything lately, but I guess it all goes back to the 30s in Jefferson at the St. Coletta School. Do you guys know that?
It goes way back to
1930. What was it,
36 or
1932
something like that? Yeah,
1932.
Okay.
And Eric, he can explain but there were articles from back then that were in the newspapers about this beast. People driving down the road. A
security guard was like the first one to talk about this or something, right?
Yeah, this beast standing on the side of the road eating roadkill with 2 hands.
So just dog crouched down. For folks that don't know, a dog man is like a tale in Michigan and upper Midwest states like that, where it's a man wolf dog hybrid kind of thing, and people talk about them all the time. That's what one of these theories, of course, is what this thing is.
But Matt, I mean, that's you would think it's just in the Midwest, but
it's everywhere though. Yeah,
it's everywhere.
It is.
Yeah.
We just did one out here, and our friend Tom Carey, there was another dogman sighting out here in Bryn Athyn, Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
Which they're calling the Bryn Athyn Beast.
Ooh, I like it.
And it's amazing that they're actually describing the same type of movement.
Yeah.
So it's very cool. I mean, it's unbelievable. But yeah, we were out there, and Lee's farm, Lee Hampel, who we met.
Yeah, we'll talk about Lee.
Lee is like really at the center of this whole story as well, because his farm is only 2/10 of a mile from Bray Road.
So Lee is on Bowers Road. But yeah, I want to talk about
Yeah,
him, but I
and
want to.
when Lee bought that farm, he was
Right.
his neighbor said, "Oh yeah, by the way, Lee, the creature's on your property."
The Beast
Yep.
was on here. Yep.
Like,
Here you go.
I knew Wisconsin was a home of alcohol, but these guys were.
Yeah.
So, but it was amazing though. And he had his first encounter. I think it was May of 2014.
Yep. Something like that.
He saw these red glowing eyes staring back at him. This thing leaped like 15 feet in the air and disappeared.
Disappeared.
And
Yeah.
that set him
Yeah.
on this path of like,
Yeah.
what is on my property?
Yep.
Yep.
So how we found out about Lee, this is wild, man. I mean, first of all, Ellen Collins, God bless her, she said,
Yep.
you and Dom ought to do a video on the Beast of Bray Road. And I said, I would love to do that. I mean, I've heard about it and I would love to do that. But I said, we're out here in Pennsylvania. And like Dom said, she paid the whole freight for us to go out
That's
there.
amazing.
For not only that one, but the follow-up as well. So that was really
Yeah.
and I dragged Dominic out there because it was completely out of his wheelhouse, which I didn't think of. I didn't think of that point of like, yes, he's hunting cryptids, he's part of the team. But then later on the follow-up, it was wild because we used his gifts to try to tune into that area to see if there's any kind of other paranormal stuff going on.
Wisconsin's
Yeah.
a paranormal heavy state.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, his field alone has a lot of energy and a lot of I mean, there's just so much going on in his field. And I mean, we have it on camera, what happened with us out there, but I mean, it's just crazy the amount of paranormal activity on his property and around his property.
Wow. That's wild.
You want to go into a deep dive here. When we went on the property, I mean, when we went to Lee's barn, Lee showed us, I mean, and like I'm sure he showed you too, thousands and thousands of pictures of what he's got, all the evidence,
Oh yeah.
And here's the thing with Lee, which was just unbelievable, man. This was like in December of 2020 when I was watching a show called Paranormal Declassified, and they were doing a thing on the Beast of Bray Road.
Oh, I need to watch that one.
And there's Lee. He's right there in the wintertime. This is winter of 2020.
Yeah.
There's snow all over the ground. And for some reason, something said to me, reach out to this guy. He looks like he's pretty, approachable.
Right.
So I went online, looked up Lee. Lee had a website. He has a phone number there. I called his number.
Yeah.
We were on the phone for like 2 hours, man. It was unbelievable.
He you probably talked to his brother, I would imagine, at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Too,
Fred.
Fred's awesome.
Yes.
Fred's awesome.
Oh, man.
Fred is a comedian.
He is, man.
I tell you. So I want to talk way more about these two. So you guys had an awesome experience. So, all right. So the Beast, right, itself, I think, we talked about kind of hearing about it in the 30s at the St. Coletta school, and the sightings start happening. One woman's driving home on Halloween of all nights, of course, and she runs over it, or it attacks her car, or it scrapes cars, or it has all these great stories to it, right? Now, it never attacks anybody. It seems to always disappear.
Yep.
Bray Road is a kind of a small, just 2-lane country road, and there's farms on either side of it, and there's no shoulder to turn off on, or anything like that. But it's kind of open. There aren't really forests or woods necessarily. So it's kind of like you drive up and down, you kind of figure, how could something, hide here? But anyway, that besides the point. All right. So I go out there though. I had seen a couple pieces, and I had seen, if you guys hopefully have, and this is a big shout to Small Town Monsters. I hope everyone knows them. They made a documentary called The Bray Road Beast, and it is the best thing they've ever done. It is fantastic. It's like an hour and a half, and it's just, oh my God, it's good. It's shot so beautifully. It's got Lee in it, of course. It's also got Linda Godfrey, who I'll get to her in a second, right? So their piece inspired me, and because I do these cryptid short docs about, Chessie the sea monster here in Chesapeake Bay, and the old house woods, the haunted woods here in Virginia. But I said, I got to get out here. So once I found out I was going to the game, I said, well, I got to figure this out. So I watched that one a couple times, and I saw the piece that you guys did, right? So that's where I wanted, and I also, one of my guests on here, Blaine Duncan, who's on the show, our Amityville expert, he's been there. He knows Lee. So he's the one that got me Lee's information. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. So I started to put it all together, and then I watched the piece that you guys did, right? So that's what I want to talk about is you guys did a really, really good, and thank you. I ended up having, so, and also FYI, my piece is done. It's called A Werewolf in Wisconsin. Go ahead to scarenetwork.tv. Check it out there. It's exclusive on there. I think you'll like it. Eric is in it. We did some audio with it, and a couple clips of him are in it, which is great. So I want to talk about my experience there, but I want to hear, you guys have already talked a little bit about it. You went in 2020. Oh, I would say Linda Godfrey. She worked for the Walworth Week, the newspaper, I guess. She was an artist. And she's the one that broke this thing wide open because she started hearing stories of this in the 80s, and she went to the county, and when the animal control had a folder called Werewolf on it, and she was like, okay, well, I have to see this. So these were all the reports, and then no one knew what this thing was. So
unbelievable, man. And I have a book too.
Yes.
I have a book from Linda too.
The title.
I know what I saw.
Yes, so she's wrote a couple.
She's awesome.
She's the one then that took it and gave it the name, The Beast of Bray Road, and gave the drawing you'll see of it hunched over eating roadkill. Yep. Sadly, she passed away, I think, in 2017. Unfortunately, she's no longer with us. But now the mantle has gone to Lee Hampel, who is the best. He is the best. Yeah. He lives on Bowers Road, which is behind Bray Road, but his farm goes out and it goes to the woods that lead up to Bray Road. So anyway, that's a long way of saying the story of it. But yeah, tell me about your story, guys, and your episode that you made and everything you experienced when you were out there.
Well, we went I'll give you some cliff notes here. I mean, when we, like Dom said, we were on Bray Road and we were doing some interviews. It was me, Ellen's son, Scott, and Dominic, and a couple of other camera people there. But we basically, I didn't put it into the video, which I don't know why I didn't. But Scott had used the drone, and he did a drone footage.
I brought mine too,
above Bray Road, and you could see huge cutouts in the corn, which was still up.
Right.
Corn cutouts going over to Lee's, then crossing over Bray Road, and then going this way over into the quarry. Now, you're saying, I don't know where the Beast of Bray Road could hide. The quarry.
There are some spots, sure. Yeah.
I think the quarry is where it's at. Okay. Because, and we were trying to get in there. But it's really, you can't, it's kind of protected in there, obviously.
Yeah. Once you go past like his property line there, it's kind of like, it's just dense and it's hard, right? Yeah. You can't really get in there.
So we actually have permission. We were the only ones to get permission to explore. And if we could get out there, the 185 acres that are out there.
Oh man. Yep. Okay.
So that was given to us, by Lee's neighbor. And that was verbal agreement. So we're just like trying to get back out there again. But anyway, we went out there, and this was October 2nd through the 4th of 2021.
Good time to go.
And Dominic, we went out there and figured it out. We went out and and like I said, we figured we're going to get a great documentary. But the night of October 3rd, man, I will never forget it.
Everything broke loose.
Yeah,
it was wild.
We went from Lee's barn, and we actually thought we were gonna have to scrub the investigation because it looked like it was raining. It was raining.
Oh, that sucks.
So Dominic's like, and we're looking out there. It was really cloudy, and I said to Lee, "Hey Lee, if it's okay with you, we'd love to do an investigation out in the field." And he's like, "Yeah, that's fine, but be careful." He wanted to give me a flare gun. And I never took it. And again, because I didn't.
What could have gone wrong with that?
Yeah, really. The whole field lit up. But Dom, as we had to take four-wheelers. Now, for your listeners, the field that we're in, and you've seen it, it's a huge rectangle. So you've got a big rectangle. You got corn on one side, corn up in the front, corn on this side, and all the hay was down at that point. And we were heading to what was called the bait area, and we were the bait that night. But we're heading over that way.
Yeah, with trees,
four-wheelers. And Dom, what was the first thing that you said?
We had went out to dinner because it was raining. I want to get back to it, but we went out to dinner when it was raining, and we thinking hopefully the storm will pass. We go back to Lee's barn, and we knew we were going to spend some time with Lee in his barn. And we're like, we're hoping this rain passes. And it was still raining.
Hmm.
So at the very end, when we go out to do the investigation, we go out, we get on the four wheelers. Ellen drove her four-wheel drive truck back there
Were
with
these the
Scott.
ones that he has in his barn? Because he's got
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Yeah, he let us use them.
That's
So,
awesome.
he's like, "Do you guys want the flare gun?" And we're like, "No, we'll be okay." I mean, we have our flashlights and our radios. That's enough to protect us, right?
Yeah, from a werewolf,
Who
absolutely.
needs anything else? But we go all the way into the back into the corner, and we had to go around the property. We didn't want to go through the field because it was wet. And when we got out there, it had stopped raining. And we're like, all right, this is great. We can get out there and do this investigation. And immediately we get off the four wheelers. I'm looking up at the sky and I'm seeing clear sky, but all around the outside of the field was clouds. And you
Hmm.
could see lightning in the distance. It was still raining in the distance, but over his field was crystal clear
It's
skies. And
amazing.
I'm looking up at this bright white orb.
Hmm.
And I'm like, what the hell is that? And it was just kind of hanging over top of his field. And I said, Eric, what the hell is that? I'm pointing up to it. He looks up. Ellen looks up. He's like, Scott, get that on the camera. Scott gets it on camera. This orb was going so fast away from us at that point. There were planes coming at it. You could see the planes. They were flickering lights, red and green.
Man,
This was just a solid white orb. It was heading straight towards a plane, did a 45 and blinked out.
gone.
Gone.
And it was amazing too, man. And we caught that on video. I mean, just to
That,
put that on
yeah.
video,
Yeah, you
amazing.
guys had that episode was
Oh my
mean,
God, man.
Yeah.
it just
And
wouldn't stop. Yeah.
I mean, and this was all within like 10 minutes of being out in this field.
Yeah. And
We
we
see this orb.
and then we went right from that point. Then we hear the howl. We hear a howl in the distance,
Oh
and
man.
it's
About
really
1,500 yards away.
far away. And then we hear one a little closer.
Yep.
And Dom and I are looking at each other, and then Ellen's still looking up at the UFO. She's trying to figure
She was like she was in a fog.
I don't know what I would do if I'd seen
she
it.
was
I'd be
zoned
locked
Matt,
in on
you
that
don't-
probably
you
too,
don't
man.
know- Matt, you don't know what happened during that
Oh my
episode of
God.
Ellen looking up like that because that hasn't been talked about. Well, we'll talk about it in a second. And Lee also shares the same thing. But anyway, so the second howl, Dom and I are looking at. Dom goes to Ellen, "Are you hearing this howl?" And Ellen goes, "Yeah, it's coming from over that way." And with that, the third howl we hear, it just to me, it sounded like a man.
About 100 yards away.
It was 100 yards away. This low guttural scream.
Yeah.
You could hear it very good on my video.
Yep.
I didn't
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
that video at all. That video's it. But I got to tell you, man, when we were on site, it was so much louder.
Oh,
Yeah.
and it's terrifying because you're out there on a field at night, and you're there to see if a beast is there, and you're hearing
Yeah.
something. You're like, what? Oh my God!
So, Dom,
Yeah, and I mean, we were wearing these little lavalier mics,
man.
and I mean, they picked it up,
Yeah.
that was
and they're directional for somebody
It's
that's
scary.
talking, and you could hear that thing clear as a bell.
Oh God.
And
I started screaming to Scott,
Oh,
and
I'd
I was
be
like, "Shine your flashlight, shine
terrified.
the camera over that way. We're going to get eye shine."
eye shine. Yeah, yeah.
And we got the eye shine.
and that was
Oh,
again.
man.
You're talking about 6 to 7 foot tall dog man, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
See these eyes going like this, and it's something was there. Something was
Oh
definitely,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
it changed our whole perspective at that point. At that point, I said, "Okay, we got to get out of here."
Yeah.
Because this thing is telling us this is my territory, get out of here. And what I didn't realize, and I don't know why I did not do this, but I just a few months ago I listened to those howls again on the headphones. And when I'm listening to that, on the second those second howls, there was a growl that was right behind us.
Yeah.
So Ellen was saying that it was moving in on us, and I didn't realize that
Surrounding.
at the time.
Yep.
It
Yeah.
was there. So we were in kind of a really dangerous situation and we had no protection. Just like,
Yeah. I said to Eric, I'm hearing rustling behind us,
Yeah.
and I was starting to get the feeling we were not safe. And
Yeah.
I said to Eric, we're not safe. We need to go. When we heard that third howl, Ellen ran to her truck, jumped in. She like dove bomb indoor truck. Scott was just a rock. He was just sitting there filming everything
There
going
you go.
around.
That would have been me, probably.
Eric is losing his mind, cursing. He's like, "Oh shit, oh shit!" And he's running around. I'm
Well,
like, "We need to go."
it's it was shocking because like you're not prepared. But we hit the paranormal lottery that night.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
a trifecta.
Oh, it was great.
You had the giant check that they give you. Yeah, that was that night.
It was amazing, man. And then after that, Howl, and before we left, we were getting this weird mist that was coming up from the field.
Yeah, it was like an electronic mist.
Yeah, it's hard to see on the video, but it was there and it was coming up. It was messing with our audio. But here's the weird thing, man. The whole town of Elkhorn lost power that night.
So you had told me about this. So where did you guys stay, by the way?
Where was that? The Holiday Inn there?
It was I think it was a Holiday Inn.
I stayed at the Hampton Inn.
Oh, that maybe
Oh, it was a Hampton Inn.
Yeah,
it
and it's right. And I remember it being funny because I remember thinking, okay, I've got to find the "Welcome to Elkhorn" sign because the one that's in small town. The sign is right next to the hotel. It's like 10 feet away from it. Oh, well, this makes my job easier. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So yeah, you guys, the power went out and then the keys didn't. Your keys got
that was on the follow up. That was
okay.
That was 6 months later when we went over to.
Oh, all right. But the power went out.
Yeah, so we went.
Yeah.
So the power went out that night.
God.
Ellen had to take Scott back to the airport in the pitch black.
Oh man.
They had to go down the stairwell. We were on the third floor, and she had to go down the stairwell carrying all his stuff back down and out. It was crazy. I mean, Eric and I got up, we went downstairs to get something to eat for breakfast, and the lights are flickering. And I went to go meet Eric in his room, and Eric's going to put a shoe on, and he had a stick from Lee's field.
Right.
And I'm like, you brought it home.
Yeah.
You're the one that caused the town to go out.
Brought it
was
with
him.
you. Brought something back.
Oh, yeah. And
But yeah, it was wild.
I forgot to tell you too before, and people could see this video. It's called "The Beast of Bray Road, Alive and Well." It's on our.
Yeah, exactly. Could plug that, please, so people can watch that for sure.
I forgot to tell you though, when we had a steak dinner, actually the night before as well. We went out to this Anthony's Italian restaurant, which was great. But we kept the steak bones so we could.
Oh, you brought.
Yeah, we baited that area.
Oh, that's great.
That was during the day on Sunday. And I thought to myself all day, man, is that a good or bad idea to put steak bones down there? And
right where we were at, within like 50 feet to 100 feet. We were right next to him.
There's so much more to this. It's unbelievable.
Oh,
all
yeah.
the trail cams that Lee has down there,
they all died.
They weren't working.
Nope, they never work.
They never worked.
No.
Until it was like he said, it was like they shut off at 5 o'clock that night, and they didn't come up until 7 o'clock the next morning. There were no pictures of us there.
Yeah.
And then when Lee went down to check it out, the steak bones were gone. But again, something could have taken that. Maybe something else.
Oh yeah, sure.
But whatever we saw, whatever we heard, and look, we're all about truth-based investigating. We didn't see it. We heard it. We saw the eye shine, but we didn't see the full out figure. There's a lot of people out there that are saying they saw the figure. They saw that. No, they didn't. This thing is so elusive. It knows when those trail cams are there. It's like an interdimensional type.
Yeah. So that's one thing I want to talk about too. So then what? So you did, and then you did this, and you came back. You guys did a follow up 6 months later. Yeah.
Yep.
Later, and now this time around, Ellen. This was in April of 2022.
Okay.
The weather was really brutal. That it was really cold,
nasty spring,
rainy. Yeah, it was bad. But we tried another type of experiment. Ellen bought these mannequins that she wanted to put out into those areas that we heard the beast.
Okay.
And then tie steak bones to the and
Dom
tied the steak bones pretty precarious. But we had GoPros on the thing, but none of the GoPros were working. Like you couldn't get any to link up out in that field. But we were out in the field during the day into that big field where we saw the eye shine. And
there was no more corn. The corn was gone.
Corn was gone. But we saw what we think were
they were knuckle prints.
Knuckle prints. So knuckle walkers. You know how a gorilla's walking on its knuckles? This thing could be walking like that.
Yep.
Because we saw tracks, but we saw these knuckle prints. And it was crazy.
Ellen and I actually went into the woods that are on the other side of that neighbor's field, and we actually hiked into the woods, and there was a little clearing in there,
Okay.
just tall grass and a little pond of fresh water.
Yeah.
And you could see where things had bed down, whether it was a deer or something else. You
Okay.
could see where they were bedding down near that water. And there were knuckle prints everywhere, and big footprints, and not from a deer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have that as well on video.
Oh yeah, and then we were in that field, and we went back to the hotel, and none of our room keys worked
Yep.
except for Ellen's because she kept hers in
That
the truck.
now did the
Or-
rest? Did anyone else guess that you checked? Did theirs work fine? Did you be able to find? Or was it like do you know for sure it was just your keys like that? Was that working?
It was
Yeah.
it was just ours.
That's wild.
I don't think it was anyone else's because Ellen's key was working, but again,
Okay.
she kept hers in the truck.
Yep.
So there, oh man, that is
So
nuts.
there, and I told Lee, I said, and he couldn't believe it, man. His jaw dropped when we told him that. But here's the thing: we the first time when we went out and did the follow up, the first night that we were there, we did a town hall meeting at
Yeah.
the Matheson
Yeah.
Memorial Library, right, Dominic?
Yeah. And when we were out there the first time, we went to Matheson Memorial Library.
So did you
We
guys
talked-
meet Chad Robinson?
Yeah.
So
And we
Chad's in
talked-
the documentary that I did. He's great. He was great.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we talked to him, and he told us where the articles were
Yep.
and everything that Linda Godfrey had written for the newspapers, and we were
Mhm.
reading all that material. And when we went back, Eric had talked to him and said, "Hey, we want to do a town hall. Can we use
That's
your
great.
room?"
That's
And he
great.
said, "Yeah, sure. We could set it up. We'll put the chairs in. We have a podium." And when we got out there, he had about 60 chairs set up.
He had
And
a frame, man.
he was, as we're sitting there getting ready to go, he's pulling out more chairs. He had over 100 and some chairs in this little room because of how many people came out to talk about and
That's
listen to what
wild.
happened.
And
We
it's
had
so
probably
cool.
over 140 people there
Oh my
for this
God.
meeting, and he was floored. He was like, "Oh my God, I've never had this many people in the library."
It
It
was
was just
amazing.
wild.
It was amazing.
But
man. It was awesome.
during that, I mean, we told our story, we showed the video, we let them hear the howls, and then right after that, we opened it up to questions. And people were telling their stories.
That's
of
what I would love to hear. The stories
And-
from these people. Yes.
And every story, the beast, the way it moved, the way it walked, the eyes, everything. When it was on all fours, it kind of lumbered along, but when it went up on two legs, it was gliding.
Yeah.
And every one of them had this story. Bus drivers talking about it,
Yeah.
seeing it on the road. I mean, it was running next to my car.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
I'm doing 55 to get away from it, and this thing is
Right.
keeping up. It's
Right.
just wild stories, but they were all described it the same way.
And go look at that video too. That's the Beast of Bray Road, the follow up, and that you're seeing a
Yep.
lot of stories there. And I mean, yeah, and that's exactly what they were talking about out here in Bryn Athyn, where the same thing. When it's on two legs, it looks like it's gliding, but when it's on all fours, it's really fast. So there's a connection there somehow.
For sure. So that's wild. So we're talking with Dominic Satel and Eric Mintel from Eric Mintel Investigates on this episode. We're talking about the Beast of Bray Road. They did a great show. Just plugged it. It'll be in show notes. You guys can watch it, obviously. So you guys went out there twice. You haven't been back since, no? Just the two times?
It's
Okay.
Just the two times.
All right.
Yeah.
So I will tell you about my trip. My trip was awesome. It was November of 2024. Like I said, I'd gone for a football game, but Wisconsin got some crazy, cool, spooky stuff. I got to really spend some time here. So went to Chicago, drove up from Chicago then. And, well, FYI, go to Silver Lake, Wisconsin. That's where the house from the Amityville remake is. I drove by that,
Yep.
by the way. And I got into Elkhorn, noon, I guess, on a Thursday, and dropped and talked to Lee and said, "I'm coming your way." And so, yeah, so Lee Hampel is retired, was a math teacher. He's retired,
Yep.
And he lives in Illinois, which is,
Yep.
half an hour because the border's right there.
Wakanda forever, Illinois.
There you go.
Yep.
So he owns this small, like, when I hear it said farm, I thought it was like a farm. I'd assume like a dairy farm, but it's just this little, just big, just outbuilding essentially with how many acres? I forget how many.
35.
30. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's small. It's a hay farm, right? But it's cool because you pull up there and it's off of Bowers Road, which is behind it. And you get there, the first thing, I'm driving the directions. I recorded on my phone with the directions saying, when you get there, take a left onto Bray Road. And I recorded like the sign. And I remember like turning on the road and being like, oh man, I'm on Bray Road. This is so exciting. I drove up and down it like 2 or 3 times before I even met up with him. And then because I was shooting footage. And I finally got to his place. And, you know, he's got, like you said, the photo albums like would be in your grandparents' house. The big giant foot of UFOs and tracks and you name it. So he's got stuff that he doesn't even release that he'll show you, which is great. He has like a presentation he'll give you on a monitor. It's just, he's amazing.
Yep. And that's what we saw.
Oh yeah. And I just was hanging out in his barn. It was interesting. It was mid-November, but it was like it was like 50. It was actually warm. We got great weather.
Wow.
And yeah, just kind of hanging out during the day. And we got in his truck and we drove the property. And I got out at one point and he showed me where he showed me these photos of the beast. And I'm standing right like where and it was like chill, like going down your spine. Because you're like, I'm standing where I saw a photo of something that I can't explain. I don't know what this was. And the 1,000-pound bales of hay that have been rolled over, he's like, who did that? Those are too heavy for a man to do. Yeah. And he showed me the spots where the deer was and where his trail cams were. And yeah, so everything had already been harvested. So it was just flat, grassland at that point. And I got so lucky. I don't know. Somebody must love me up there or something because I got the perfect gray, cloudy day when I was there to shoot. It was perfect. So it worked out so well. We hung out for a little bit. I got a shirt from him, got the cast, the paw print, and got some great interviews with him. And I was worried about, all my gear and my batteries and stuff. And I didn't have any problems. Everything worked fine. I got my audio, got my footage, shot it all in 4K, flew the drone on the property. And it was great. And I parted ways, went back and dropped the stuff off at the hotel. Went and I drove up and down the road a couple times at night. And I really freaked myself out because it was like 7 o'clock. It's in November. It's totally dark. I was just like, I'm going to go back and just like wrap it for the day and shoot tomorrow. Got up early the next day. Great morning again. Perfect. Drove up and down like miles of the roads, like Hospital Road, and went to the back roads and just drove around these little tiny nothing roads, where you barely see a car for 10 minutes. And it was just, it was so perfect. And I saw the house with the guy with the statue, of course. There's a statue of a guy he has on Bray Road. He has a statue of the beast. It is like a wood carving. And I don't know if it was for Halloween, because Halloween was only a few weeks before. The beast is wearing jeans and like a ripped up t-shirt, and he's got chains on him and stuff. Yep. It's amazing, right?
He had painted it prior to.
Oh, so great. And like the Bray Road sign is only really, for me at that time, it was only on one end of the road. So you had to go to the end closer to Lee's farm to get the shot of it. Yeah. But everything worked. I got such great footage. Everything worked out so well. And I drove up and down a couple of times, and I must have gone up and down the road 10, 15 times within the day and a half I was there. But you're thinking, like, you're just constantly moving your eyes because you're just looking, am I going, and if I see something, am I even going to know what I just saw, right? That's because we don't really know what this thing is. So, and then of course, and this is so lame, I don't really care, but I had packed up, I was all done, and put the drone away finally and took one last ride down the road, and I must have played Werewolves of London in my rental car as loud as I possibly could. And then it was like 10 in the morning, the sun came out, and I was like, this is perfect. Now I'm done. I'm ready to hit the road to my next spot. Couldn't have been better. It was fabulous.
That's awesome.
Nothing odd happened. I did not see the beast. That's okay, because a lot of the times you kind of don't want to really see these things in reality. They actually are terrifying. Because so that leads me to, he's seen it 3 or 4 times, right? He says, and it leads me to, like, what are we looking at? Is this something that isn't actually physical? Because he's talking about how he sees it and it's gone and it moves within 30 feet within like a heartbeat because it's actually like a digital representation of something. Is it a werewolf? Is it a dog man? Is it something from another reality?
You just said
what is it?
You said digital, which is very interesting here.
Right.
We got another report of a woman, man and woman, that were on. They weren't anywhere near Bray Road, but they were sort of near Elkhorn, and they're on, I forget what the highway was, but it was like an offshoot road.
The interesting thing I noticed, all the highways, they're named, they're letters, like Highway T or Highway
Yeah.
VV or things like that. Yeah, interesting. Yeah,
They
yeah.
were,
Highway NN was out there.
and they were on this road, and the woman is looking, and she's looking against the brush in the back, and looks like she says, a mountain lion type
Oh
thing
my God.
walking. But here's the weird thing. As they turned the car around to get a better look at it, and then as they went around, they turned around. Her window was close to this side now to looking at it. It's coming up to the car, and as it's
Oh.
coming up to the car, this thing is glitching. It's
Yeah.
glitching in and out of reality.
Like dropping frames
Yeah.
and yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
now, so you said it, digital. So maybe this
That's
thing
what
is
I've heard. Yeah.
some kind of like coming in and out of some kind of portal. I don't know.
That is what I've heard people say. That's really interesting. Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of, a Marvel movie of Nightcrawler, where
Yeah.
he has the ability
Uh-huh.
to transport himself between points. And that's what
Yep.
it kind of reminds me of. So, yeah, I mean, when we were out there, we were the first time, we were talking about the quarry, and we were trying to get into the quarry to see if we could do anything, and we couldn't get access in the quarry.
Hmm.
We were on the plane, and just as we're getting ready to board, Eric had gotten a phone call from a worker that worked for the county.
Oh, you
And
told me about
he
this.
gave us the story. He didn't want to be on camera,
Yeah.
but he gave us the story of hearing the howl. Him and his partner, they were out in the quarry. When they got out of the truck, they heard this howl.
Oh man.
And he explained that howl perfectly. And I mean, it was just wild. And we have it on video. It's in the video. And it's just absolutely wild how these people are explaining it and how it sounded. But then to hear it ourselves was just mind blowing.
And that was and like you just said it, Dom. I mean, and that happened when we got that call from him. That was after we heard.
Yeah.
So he's describing the same howl that we heard the night before. It was amazing, man. I mean, so
Yep.
Yeah.
this, and he was,
Yeah.
he's a state worker. He didn't want to be on camera, but he talked to us, and he heard the same thing we heard. It was, and he described it as a wild pig sound.
Yeah. Right. Like a pitch. Yeah. He
Didn't
said.
Yeah.
just
And
mo-
it doesn't pitch. It's just
Right.
very monotone.
yeah.
It's wild.
But Lee, I mean, I just talked to Lee not long ago, as I'm sure you did. The screams are still happening out there. It's still happening. So,
It's-
there's something there. There's definitely something.
So, like the sightings. Okay. So, the famous one is I'm trying to remember her name. I don't remember. I know the Linda and Lee mentioned the name, but I can't remember the names of the eyewitnesses. But yeah, she said that she saw something hunched over, sitting down, eating roadkill. And that's what the famous drawing. If you look up Beast of Bray Road, you'll see that drawing of it.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
super freaky. Yeah. People say that it comes and it scratches their cars, or it chases, like you said, it chases going 55 miles an hour, and thing's keeping up with you. Like, that's insane.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
there
there
was-
was a worker, I think, a state worker that was picking up roadkill.
Yes, I've heard this one.
And he wound up putting it in the back of his truck.
Yep.
What, Dom? He put
Yeah.
the thing in the back of the truck. He gets in the truck, and all of a sudden he feels the
It's
truck
jumping on the truck.
Yeah.
Yes.
and this thing, whatever it is, the dog
Yes.
took it.
dragged the deer out of there.
Oh my
And,
God.
he
100-something pound deer.
Yeah.
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 Oh my
I mean,
God.
There was also, we were some of the farmers in the area were talking about how they were missing sheep, how some of their cattle had gotten scratched, and they were talking about that. So this thing's going after not only roadkill, but it's also going after live.
Oh yeah.
But it's not going, like you said, there's no human interactions with this thing except for maybe running by or scratching a car, but no actual humans have been injured by it.
I hope it remains that way. I mean,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
hope so too.
that,
I mean,
that's a
it's only
scary
it's only a
thing.
matter of time until it, loses its fear of man.
Yep.
That's concerning.
When we were out there the second time, we were out in the field and we were talking, and having everybody at the town hall meeting and talking with them, we found out a lot more history of the area, that there is Indian burials there. They're mounds, and that's
Lots
where
of stuff
the
out
natives
there.
have buried their bodies.
Yes.
And it's all over the place. And then seeing the pictures that Lee has of the portals that
Yeah.
are on his property,
Yeah.
and seeing the orbs with the doorway in it with a figure of a person in it. I mean, there's all these things that are going on. So, I mean, there's a lot to this story.
Oh, there is so much going on. That like I said, that state is a paranormal hotbed, honestly. And yeah, like you said, Lee, if you're, for me, is just like, I just wanted to see the werewolf stuff. He even said, "Do you want to see more UFO stuff?" And I said, "I'm gonna stick to werewolves for today." But there is a heavy UFO, extraterrestrial presence and thing going on out there too. Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, Lee had, I don't know whether he showed it to you, but he has a picture of a UFO that's flying around the one tree right by the wetlands.
I think
It's like a football shaped silver metallic
Yeah.
football. And it's about 20 to 30 feet off the ground flying around his tree. And it's not huge. It's probably like a one person ship that's just flying around. He's like, it was out there and it was just gone.
Yep. And that, oddly enough, that's where we heard the howls, over in the wetlands.
Yeah.
Yeah. That this is such a great story for me. It's just so I'm a big werewolf fan. I mean, I love American Werewolf in London. I love The Howling, right? I love stuff like that. The Beast of Gévaudan, the story from France, if you're familiar with that, the one that happened in the 1700s where they chased down the wolf and they're never really sure what it was. But any of these stories like that this is probably one of my favorite cryptid, like unexplained stories of them all. And to be able to get out there finally was so great.
Oh, yeah.
Now, it's like Chad said when we interviewed him, if you were to drive down the road and didn't know anything about it, you would just think it was some random road. But if you know about it, you're in a totally different kind of headspace and thing like that. So, but it's very unassuming, like I said, hopefully people don't ever get attacked by this thing. But so when you guys were done and it was all cut together and you posted everything, now you look back at this, what are your thoughts on what you saw, and what do you think of what do you think about the Beast of Bray Road? What are your thoughts on it? Do you think is it a werewolf? What is it? What do you think?
It's an unknown cryptid. I mean, for
that's pretty accurate.
After we got done, we went through every single sound, what it could possibly be. It wasn't a fox, it wasn't an owl, not a dog, it wasn't anything. We've let hunters, seasoned professional hunters, hear this.
Oh, he said he's talked to people at Madison, at University of Wisconsin, and they've been like, we don't know what this is, or right? I mean,
nobody knows what it is.
Yeah.
Nobody could identify what it is. So I think it's an unidentified cryptid. I mean, it's a new species, maybe. I don't know, but is it interdimensional? Possibly, because it's there and then it's gone.
Yeah, and I mean that wooden carving that guy has,
so awesome.
I mean that is probably the most, realistic looking.
I was gonna,
statue.
Probably is, right?
That we feel that's what it is. I mean,
that's what
Lee
I think.
Does have pictures of its shoulder.
Yes.
And you can see the hair. So it's there's definitely something, and there's more than one. There's definitely more than one that's out there, whether it's a family pack or something like that.
Okay.
But it's definitely more than one, because I mean, for 1,500 yards, hearing that howl, then the second one at like 500 yards, and then the last one at 100 yards, hearing the growling and the rustling behind us, there was more than one. There was no way that I could see that this thing was moving to me that quick, being that beast, unless it is transporting or portaling itself everywhere. But it was wild.
Have you guys familiar with the theory that the Loch Ness Monster, that the same thing, that it's actually real, but it's coming in from millions of years ago from a dimension or portal, and that's when it shows up, people are either seeing the portal open or they've like gone back and have you heard this theory? So that could be like what this is kind of too. When I heard that theory of the Loch Ness Monster, I thought it's crazy, but it's interesting. If it's real, you're kind of reaching through real quick. Here I am, but now I'm gone again. And maybe that's what this thing is. I don't know.
I think that's what happened to us on October 3rd. I think that's exactly what happened. Because
you want to tell the story about what Ellen experienced, because we didn't cover that.
Oh, right. So Ellen, when she was looking up at the UFO, sort of in a trance. We both
I would have been.
She's like this. Well, later on, she told me she had a dream about the Beast of Bray Road in that instance, that she saw the creature, the creature put its claw in the palm of her hand and pretty much explained to her what it's doing there. It's there to survive, to procreate, but the weird thing is Lee had the same kind of dream.
Yeah,
man.
Which is really strange, man.
He said after one encounter he got really sick, didn't he? Also, I think.
Yeah,
that's interesting. So,
I mean, Lee has lost time on the property.
Yes, he told me about that. He said he's lost time.
You know, you're talking about.
And I've heard about that. Missing time is a thing with this, right?
Yes. Yeah, and it was just kind of crazy. I mean, we were out there for maybe a total of a half an hour, and when we hit the trifecta, and it just seemed like it took forever to get back to his barn.
Yeah,
from that back corner of the field to get back to his barn, it seemed like it took forever.
We were looking around because we didn't know if we were going to get swipe that or whatever,
Yeah, and seriously.
Tom's doing donuts in the field.
Yeah, I would have had fun riding around on the ATV for sure. That would have been a blast.
Trying to get out of there.
But when we flew back, and Lee had left Eric a voicemail saying that he went back out there, that the trail camera stopped working and it didn't turn back on, and he said the bait was gone. And that just totally blew our minds.
Yeah.
And we land, and that next week, Eric and I are out in the New Jersey Pine Barrens hunting Bigfoot.
Oh, okay.
So, and when we're out there, we hear Bigfoot, we hear whoops. Right. Never heard whoops before, but we had a juvenile Bigfoot whooping at us. And the researcher we were with, Eric Spinner, his wife, Heather, started whooping back to it and was having a conversation back and forth. And I'm like, this is just crazy.
Wild.
And I'm like, it was a week later when we came back. I mean, then to hear about the Beast of Bray Road and talking with Rich Show about that and his experience. And it's the same creature as what's out in Wisconsin.
I listened
blows your
to,
mind.
Oh, it's crazy. I listened to one of the audiobooks that Linda had done. It was not the first one. It was some other. But it was talking a lot about all the effigies and burial grounds and all the crossroads and just all these different things that are in these places. I mean, we keep forgetting we're fairly new around these parts. Okay, there's a lot of people and a lot of creatures that were here a long time before us. We're just visitors right now, and to think about all that stuff, what happened there before, that stuff is like it's there. It's like it leaves a mark and a stain and whatever you want to say. So, I don't know. For me,
it's also been seen around those.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's ley lines that run through there.
Ley lines,
and that's like the energy hotspots, and that's like right there.
Yep.
You have Skinwalker Ranch. Lee has a Skinwalker Ranch going on at his property.
Pretty much,
definitely.
I need to get back there. I need to go back.
Well, we should. We should all coordinate a thing where we're all back there.
We should go. We should go and sit down and just shoot something and essentially just make another piece on it. That would be tremendous.
Yeah, let's make a point of that this year.
So
road trip.
Hey, I gladly go back to Wisconsin. I had an absolute blast there. There is a ton of spooky stuff to go to Wisconsin. Oh my goodness!
I got to say though, Lee and his brother Fred.
His brother Fred was great.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
They're the best. They are the best. We love them. Yes, they're the best.
Ellen and Scott, great to work with. I mean, it was amazing. Matt, I do have to ask you a question.
Yes.
When you went to that hotel, was there a couple that was still living there?
No. There are not many folks at the Hampton Inn in Elkhorn on a Thursday in there
was a couple
mid-November
while they were getting a house built, and then they were there when we went back 6 months later.
They were still there.
I'll tell you what, if they were, I don't think I ran into them. So, or at least they didn't tell me anything. So I don't know, but. Yeah, Elkhorn was cool. I had some pizza while I was there. It was a good little town. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had a blast. So,
there's more of the story going to be told for sure.
Oh, it's a never-ending story, obviously, but sometimes you can only tell so much, and I think we're only going to tell so much today. So, this was a blast to talk about the Beast of Bray Road. So, I should mention again before we close, though, my documentary is available. It's called A Werewolf in Wisconsin. It is featuring Eric Mintel. It is on scarenetwork.tv. Go check that out. All this will be in your show notes. I want you guys to watch the piece these guys did. But Dominic Satel and Eric Mintel have been on today. We're talking about the Beast of Bray Road, the purported wolf dog man living in Wisconsin, or whatever you want to call it. My friend actually said something when I talked to her recently, saying back in August that it will be down in whatever the State Street, which is in downtown, I guess, Madison. There was like some sort of Dungeons and Dragons themed Bray Road, Beast of Bray Road thing going on. I was like, you have to go to that. So yeah, no, Wisconsin, great place to visit. We should go back there. So
Definitely.
Gentlemen, this was wonderful. I've said all I can. Please.
Don't forget to check us out. Go on our YouTube channel.
So I was going to say, please, you guys tell everyone where they can find all the awesome stuff you guys are doing. Go ahead. Plug it.
Eric Mintel Investigates on YouTube, and you'll see the video that we're talking about tonight. It's called The Beast of Bray Road, Alive and Well. And then we also did The Beast of Bray Road, the follow-up. And the follow-up actually has 2 parts to it.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. And Matt, it was such a pleasure being in your documentary.
Yes, thank you. It was great.
It's a lot of fun. And Dom, it's always a pleasure to work with Dom because he always brings another dimension. I don't feel what Dominic feels, like psychic-wise,
Yeah.
So I keep all of that history and all the paranormal stuff to myself until we get on a location. And then Dom goes into those hot spots, and it's amazing to watch him go right to those, like within minutes, going to these like hot spots. And then all of a sudden, this big story starts unfolding. It's amazing.
I love it.
Yep.
Also, we'll plug real quick because I know we met up, Eric, at the Vampa Museum.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Go see, because you do a lot of stuff with them too, and that's just that place. The Vampa Museum is unbelievable. I have a video of it on my Instagram page.
Yeah.
Go see that.
Part 3 of our Vampa series, and if you can make your way up here, Matt, we'll make you our honored guest.
Oh man, I want to come back for sure.
3rd. And it's going to be at the County Theater in Doylestown. It's called, originally we did 2 parts called Paranormal Pickers, but it's now called Paranormal Activity Research Agency.
Okay.
And under Eric Mintel Investigates in collaboration with. So with Ed Crimmy. And there's so much going on there. And Dominic experienced it firsthand, literally.
Yeah.
The last video. I would encourage people to go check those 2 videos out. Paranormal Pickers Part 1 and Part 2. It's actually Para Part 1 and Part 2, but oh my God. Part 2, it's crazy.
Yeah. I freaked Ed out when I first went in there. He's got all the vampire killing chests, all those kits.
It's crazy.
And I said to him, this one was on a boat. And he was it blew his mind. He starts screaming, "Oh my God, don't say anymore. Just wait." He gets on the phone. He calls Megan, his assistant, tells her to bring over this book that's on his desk. He brings it over and he's like, "Nobody knows this. Nobody knows this. I don't know how you know it." And he shows me the book, and here it's the ship's log.
Oh my God.
That chest was on the boat.
Was it the Demeter from Dracula?
Yeah. He's like, "How did you know?" And I'm like, Spirit was telling me it was on a boat. I could smell the salt air. I could feel the ocean waves. He's like, "I can't believe it." He's like, "I pulled this book out. Nobody saw the book but me." And it was just wild. So I blew his mind right away.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to do Part 2, man, because I mean, there's just so much to talk about.
Yeah.
Do it all in one night.
I see.
But definitely October 3rd, it's going to be phenomenal. But check us out. And again, thank you so much, Matt. That documentary it was amazing.
I hope everyone loves it. I think it's like I said, Small Town Monsters piece was the top. I hope they can emulate that. But so Don, where's everybody find you if they want to look up your stuff?
I'm on with YouTube with Eric Mintel Investigates, Facebook, Instagram. I'm everywhere on social media.
Gentlemen, wonderful. So everyone out there, you guys know us. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, like and subscribe because you love it. You want to hear more werewolves. You want to hear. We'll talk about more werewolf films too, of course. Come to Instagram at the Scary Movie Project. That's where I hang out. If you want to talk about the Beast or you want to tell me, more scary werewolf themed movies, email me, thescarymovieproject@gmail.com. Until next time, gentlemen, this is great. We'll talk beasts and werewolves forever and ever. But for now, we'll sign off. And until next time, remember, beware the moon.
The Scary Movie Project podcast. Learn more at thescarymovieproject.com.